A lion walks into a hospital carrying a baby, leaving everyone utterly stunned. But when a nurse uncovers the truth, it'll leave you speechless. And hey, let us know where you're watching from. The rain poured in relentless sheets, blurring the glowing neon sign outside St. Mary's Hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. Elia Carter, a devoted nurse with over 10 years of experience, sat at her station sipping lukewarm coffee. Her eyelids were heavy with exhaustion, but she pushed through. It was shaping up to be just another busy night, or so she thought. The soft chime of the automatic doors jolted her attention back to the lobby. Elia glanced over, expecting to see a late-night visitor or perhaps an ambulance crew. Instead, her mug slipped from her hands, shattering as it hit the floor. Standing there in the doorway was a lion. A massive lion with a golden mane, drenched from the rain, stood motionless while the storm roared behind it. Time seemed to freeze. The bustling hospital fell into stunned silence as everyone froze, unable to comprehend what they were witnessing. The lion wasn't roaring, nor did it appear aggressive. It just stood there, scanning the room with its piercing gaze. But what truly caught Elia's attention wasn't the sheer impossibility of its presence. No, it was what the lion carried in its powerful jaws, a small, carefully wrapped bundle. Stepping forward with deliberate care, the lion's claws clicked softly against the tiled floor. Its amber eyes met Elia's, and in that moment, she felt something she couldn't explain, a connection that surpassed fear. Whispers rippled through the staff, disbelief etched on every face. Elia's heart pounded as she took a step forward. Somehow, she knew she had to trust this creature. The lion reached the center of the lobby, gently lowering the bundle to the floor. With a soft nudge of its nose, it pushed the bundle toward her, then sat back on its haunches. The only sound in the room was the rain pounding against the windows. Trembling, Elia knelt and reached for the bundle. Slowly, she peeled back the soaked cloth. Her breath caught. Inside was a baby, a tiny infant no more than a few days old. Its skin was pale, and its small chest rose and fell weakly. The baby's lips had a faint bluish tint, and it let out a fragile, pitiful cry. Tears filled Elia's eyes as her training kicked in. This child needed urgent medical care. She shouted for a pediatric team, her voice cutting through the stunned silence. The lion didn't move. It simply sat there, its intelligent eyes fixed on Elia. It was as if it understood the gravity of the situation and trusted her to do what was needed. As the baby was rushed to the neonatal unit, Elia turned back toward the lion. How could this have happened? Where had it come from? And why had it brought the baby here? A voice interrupted Elia's thoughts. What's going on here? It was Dr. Marcus Green, the hospital's chief physician, his face a mixture of confusion and disbelief. Elia quickly explained the situation, her voice quivering with emotion. The lion brought the baby, she said, her words almost catching in her throat. It just walked in, laid the child down, and it seemed to know something was wrong. Dr. Green's expression softened as he glanced toward the bundle being whisked away to the neonatal unit. And the lion? He asked cautiously. I don't know, Elia whispered, turning to look at the creature. The lion hadn't budged. It sat calmly in the center of the lobby, water dripping from its rain-soaked fur. It didn't growl or flinch, even as security guards cautiously inched closer. Radios crackled with nervous chatter. One guard raised a tranquilizer gun, his hands trembling. No one touches that lion. Elia's voice rang out, firm and unwavering. It saved a life tonight. We owe it the same care. Dr. Green hesitated, then nodded in agreement. Let's figure this out, he murmured. Before anyone could act, the lion rose to its feet. It turned slowly, heading back toward the entrance. Pausing at the door, it glanced over its shoulder one last time, as if to say goodbye, then disappeared into the rain. Elia stood frozen, her heart racing. She had so many questions, but there was no time to dwell. A nurse hurried toward her, clutching something tightly in her hand. I found this in the baby's blanket, the nurse said breathlessly, handing over the object. It was a gold locket, slightly tarnished but intricately engraved. With trembling fingers, Elia opened it. Inside was a photograph of a woman cradling a newborn, her smile gentle and full of love. The back of the locket bore an inscription, "For Anna. Protect him no matter the cost." Elia's mind reeled. Who was Anna? Was she the baby's mother? What had happened to her? And how did the lion fit into this mystery? The storm outside raged on, but something inside Elia shifted. She didn't know it yet, but this was only the beginning of a story much bigger than anyone could have imagined. The neonatal unit was a flurry of motion as doctors and nurses worked tirelessly to stabilize the baby. Elia stood just outside, her gaze fixed through the glass, emotions swirling between hope and worry. Inside the incubator, the infant's tiny chest rose and fell steadily, aided by the rhythmic hum of medical equipment. Dr. Green emerged from the room, his expression a mix of relief and confusion. "The baby's stable for now," he said. "Dehydrated and hypothermic, but no signs of physical trauma. Honestly, it's a miracle. Whoever, or whatever, brought him here saved his life." Elia nodded, gripping the locket tightly in her hand. "But who is he, Marcus? And what happened to him before he got here?" She hesitated, her mind returning to the surreal image of the lion. That lion didn't just stumble in. It knew it understood. Before Dr. Green could respond, a soft chime echoed over the intercom. "Security to the main entrance. We have a situation." Elia's heart sank. She turned to Dr. Green, her instincts kicking in. "Stay with the baby," she said firmly. "I'll handle this." In the main lobby, the calm surrealness of earlier had been replaced by chaos. The rain had eased into a light drizzle, but the hospital entrance was now swarmed with people, police officers, reporters, and curious civilians drawn by the swirling rumors. Pushing through the crowd, Elia spotted Carl, the head of security, speaking with two officers. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice steady despite the tension. Carl gestured toward a man standing just outside the hospital doors. He was tall, his face weathered, and his soaked clothes clung to him as he stood there, clutching a photograph. His eyes were frantic, darting around the scene as if searching for something, or someone. "He showed up a few minutes ago," Carl explained. "Says he's looking for his son. And," he hesitated, lowering his voice, "he claims he knows about the lion." Elia's pulse quickened. She stepped forward, her eyes locking onto the man. "Sir, I'm Nurse Carter. You said you're looking for your son." The man's hands shook as he extended the photograph toward her. It was a faded picture of a woman holding a newborn, her expression soft and loving. The man stood beside her in the photo, his arm protectively around her shoulders. "My name is David," he said, his voice breaking. "My wife, Anna, she passed away 3 days ago. Our car went off the road during the storm. I tried to get help, but when I came back, the baby, he was gone. I thought I lost him too." Elia's breath caught in her throat. "Your wife's name was Anna?" David nodded, tears streaming down his face. "She gave me this," he said, pulling out a matching gold locket. "It was hers. She said it was meant to protect him, no matter what." Elia's grip on the locket in her hand tightened. "David, your baby is here. He's safe. But there's something else." She paused, searching for the right words. "A lion brought him to us." David's face shifted from disbelief to shock. "A lion's?" She nodded. "It walked into the hospital, carrying your son in a blanket. It didn't harm anyone, it just left him here. Do you know anything about that?" David's face went pale. "The lion, it was Anna's wish." Elia blinked, stunned. "What do you mean?" David took a shaky breath, trying to steady himself. "Anna grew up near a wildlife sanctuary. There was a lion there, a majestic one she called Solomon. She cared for him as a child and always said he was special, like he could understand her. Before she died, she told me that if anything ever happened to us, Solomon would know what to do. I didn't believe her. I thought she was delirious." But now his voice trailed off, choked with emotion.